nothing now because
I
karma got you.
You know what? Oh god, I almost knocked over my other water bottle, but you know
JD!
what? That water bottle is closed, so it's fine.
I swear
I
to
don't.
God, you're not allowed to roll, so you gotta be nice to
I'm
us.
rolling. I'm rolling. I'm rolling.
Are you?
Hi,
No,
welcome back.
I thought you learned your lesson.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna be transparent. That wasn't a blind dice roll. That was me rolling for an unleash your powers roll, and I rolled a 4. And that is to say, Valen, while you are there, curled up, sheet wrapped around you, back to the wall, there's a moment where you think I'm not alone. And it's not in a scary way, it's not in a threatening way. I don't know that I would go as far as to say as it's comforting because I'm not sure Valen would necessarily feel that way, but there's a moment where you get the sense of Caleb. Maybe it's a flicker of movement that looks like his rainbow hair, like a shimmer in the air. Maybe it's the scent that you associate with him, and that strikes you as strange because, I mean, all of you have your jumpsuits laundered at the same place. It's not as though you are able to wear cologne or perfume or anything else, but there's something near you that reminds you of him, and then it's gone as quickly as it came.
Valen, I think there's this instinctual, like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed. Somebody else saw me like this when that feeling first comes over. Thinking of the cameras, thinking of we're constantly under scrutiny. Um, but realizing where he thinks this is coming from, I think that the cameras can see that Valen kind of settles back a little bit, less so like they're deflating and more so just like leaning back into something comforting almost. Um, and I think hands still shaking goes back to start to fiddle with the cuffs. What is what's the camera situation? Like is there one camera because you can't really hide in this room? Are there multiple cameras? Like what's going on?
No, that is a very valid question. I think exactly to that point you just made, Valen, like it does strike you as a little bit strange that there is more than one camera there because there are two. And I think Valen especially looks at them and can kind of like recognize it would be hard for there to be a blind spot, and yet they're clearly concerned that there could be.
Mm. And I'm assuming they're both pretty high up.
Mhm.
I think um not really to try and hide anything, but just for a sense of privacy, Valen kind of folds himself into the blanket itself and goes back to fiddling with the cuffs, but generally hiding his entire body from the cameras. Um, I want to try and see if that feeling of whatever it feels like when my powers activate, if I can do that just enough to make the marks change colors, the lightning marks on my arms.
I'm gonna say, given the circumstances, that would still be an unleash your powers roll.
Okay.
So let's see what the dice say.
Unleash your powers is rolling with freak.
Yep.
It's a 7.
I think a 7 makes sense. And so Valen, you're trying to channel things enough that kind of those like almost lightning scar images that have been imprinted on your skin will activate,
Mhm.
will show you that there is something there. And there's a moment where it is there. It's a flash and it doesn't linger. It lets you know though that the lack of change that you felt when you realized that the cuffs had been placed on you, it doesn't seem like they're blocking anything. It didn't seem like it was hard. It didn't seem like it was effortful. It didn't seem like you had to push through a wall.
Okay. I think Valen um unfolds himself from the blanket, stands up, takes a moment to put the jumpsuit back on the proper way, zips it all the way back up, um, pushes his sleeves up so that the markings are exposed, and looks at one of the cameras and says, I need to talk to King.
And we're going to come back to that. I'm going to make a note on that. I have a couple of notes going, but before we address any of those, Scylla, you've been left alone since Dr. Oleander stepped out. And I'm wondering when we go back to check on you after you've been here in this room with a lack of enrichment for several hours, what do we see?
Well, Scylla has been trying to find her own enrichment. It is very difficult because this room sucks balls. And she probably went through doing some stretches, trying to see if she could do that thing where if you push yourself really hard against two walls, like in the corner, you can climb up, and probably not succeeding in that, depending on what the room is made of. She is so bendy, though. And then gnawing a bit on the mattress just because she can. And then she probably resorted to just doing like some stretches that Sloane and Luke had probably taught her to, like, hey, if you can't keep your hands busy, you can just go through some like basic, very, very bendy stretches. So just kind of trying different like pretzel positions, or just kind of like grabbing her ankles and rolling around like she's a ball. Uh, Slithering like a snake, just trying to keep herself occupied so she doesn't just sit and stare and think upsetting thoughts.
What upsetting thoughts is Scylla trying to avoid?
I just said she's trying to avoid them. Rude.
I know what you said.
She doesn't like wherever that cave full of bodies memory came from, because that wasn't her memory. She hated that. She hated the hallway. She hated the footage that's fake, that someone made up about her and her friends. And it's that because that makes her angry. Because why would someone lie about them like that when they were just defending themselves? Because no one else here is defending us.
I think those are reasonable things to be trying to avoid.
We're just gonna slither like a snake around the room.
And so for this moment, Scylla, you are slithering, you are creating your own enrichment. And I do think for the moment we will leave you there because we do need Ellie to check in on, since Ellie, you were getting quite sick
Yeah.
after trying out a new power when we
Yeah.
last left you.
Yeah. What? I'm sorry. My cat is doing something. I hope it's not bad. Anyways, we'll find out.
Do you need to get the baby? Because you can
No,
get
I
the
don't know where
baby.
she is. I just heard like a box move, and that usually means she's being a fool somewhere. Anyways, it's fine. It stopped. Normally I think Ellie would. I don't think she's been in many situations where she has not had a controlled environment to experience these symptoms. Like someone's always been able to be like take care of her as if she were having the flu or like needing a hospital or like fluids or whatever. So while this is new to her, and I think her gut instinct, had it been any other situation not involving an innocent person, aka Milo, who is still in Hemlock and she is not there to be protective over him or help him navigate a safe way out, she is fighting, curling up into a ball, and like succumbing to how sick she actually feels. Her back is like rigidly pressed up against the back of the wall. She's put the mattress against the back of the wall. Uh that she could sit on. Her fingers are like curling, nails digging into the green fabric of her jumpsuit as she just like clearly like stares down the door with such intensity of like someone trying to stay conscious, alert, awake, and with it and not be like concentrating on how bad she actually feels, and like there's more and more sweat dripping down her forehead, like making more and more streaking lines through the blood that's already dousing her. She makes no try to like wipe off the blood on her hands or like get less like remove any part of the jumpsuit for just like the undershirt or whatever to be less sticky. She is like dead locked in on focusing on how can I fix this, because in a way she feels like this is something that she has somehow dragged Milo into, because all she can remember is the repeat line that he told her: "You called me, you called me, you called me, and told me to come here." And she did not do that, but someone posing as her did. And somehow she's influenced someone enough to make him be the most vulnerable route to her. And she does not like that. Um, yeah.
Ellie, as you are laying there navigating all of these symptoms, feeling so very ill, it's not an answer to the intended question that you found yourself asking, that question of, like, how do I fix this? How do I navigate the situation? How do I address the fact that Milo was thrown into danger? It's not an answer to all of that, but it is an answer to that sickness that you're feeling. Because you feel that darkness,
Oh, fuck me.
that hunger inside of you. Respond, and maybe it is about more than the sickness. Maybe it's about everything, because that hunger tells you, I can help.
Like, is this just like a feeling? Or is this like, am I actually hearing voices?
I think kind of in the moment you're not 100% sure. Like you're pretty sure you didn't hear anyone say anything out loud. Maybe it was just a thought.
It's like a fever dream.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I think she does answer out loud. Why not? Fever and delusional and all that. I think that she doesn't look for where the voice she heard is coming from and is still like deadlocked on the door, the exit, and just answers, "You have done nothing to help me so far. Why would I listen to you now?"
And I think with that feeling of it being a fever dream is added to by the fact that through the intercom you hear Misty say, "That's what we're here to do, Ellie. We're here to help you, but you're not letting us do that."
the wrong person she wanted to hear. Her eyes flick to the intercom, the speaker, probably at the top of wherever it's placed in the room, and she just says, "Shut up, Misty."
There's no other response at that point. The hunger doesn't answer either.
And it stays this time.
It isn't doing anything, but you can feel it there. You didn't ask for help. One by one, all of your doors open, and pairs of orderlies are there again, ready to walk you somewhere. I do just need to know, does everyone go along with this, or is there some controversy in response to this?
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
What is this hunger hungry for? It's been here for a minute. Have I been able to like decipher what it actually wants?
I don't think you have, because recently you've been kind of keeping it at bay a bit.
How?
You haven't been letting it help you. So it could
Okay.
be hungry for orderlies, for instance.
Hey,
It could
hey,
also
okay.
be it could also be hungry for your friends.
I don't want the answer anymore, JD. You could have it back. I didn't like
No,
that.
it's a part of you now.
No, I don't like that. I don't want that. I didn't do anything. Oh no, I don't like that answer.
I thought you wanted cannibalism. I'm so
That's not what I said.
Oh,
I never said that.
Oh, you never said that?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, Scylla's the one over here with the fucking Jackie ear.
There's an antler!
Okay, not anymore.
Scylla out here catching strays.
For
God.
no reason. That's
Well,
crazy.
tell Q not to bring up cannibalism. I didn't want that.
You did the want Hannibal and Will.
Oh shit, I did say that.
I-
That's not
Why
the
do
part I
you
wanted.
keep? Okay, all right.
That's not the thing I wanted. Shut up.
Okay.
Shut. Shh.
All right.
That's not
You
the part
got
I
it.
wanted. I didn't want that part. I didn't want the cannibalism. Where's
That's the
anyways.
whole show, Elsie. That's the whole dynamic.
You know what we. No, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Anyway, it's not what I wanted.
It's the homoeroticism of cannibalism.
That's true.
So now that you have the answer, do you say or do anything to the orderlies, or do you let them walk you where you're headed?
Are you trying to ask if I kill them?
I'm just curious what you do. I can't tell you what to do.
Do not kill them. I will go willingly, but it's very slow because I don't think I can walk faster.
That is better than eating them.
I will not eat. I'm not okay. First of all, I've not eaten anyone in this show, and don't fucking say anything about this goddamn 2 city blocks.
I wouldn't dream of it.
No,
Thank.
you said it.
Next person.
You get no struggle from Connor.
How
Are we-
about Mara?
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, Connor. Continue.
I would say, are we all brought somewhere together, or is it all separate?
It's an interesting question. The answer is separate. Like, you're not all let out of your rooms at the same time. Do you end up in the same location is a different question.
Interesting.
So Connor goes along without a fight.
Hmm.
Ellie comes along without a fight. How about Valen?
Valen is absolutely of the "don't put your hands on me" mindset. We'll walk with them as long as they keep their hands to themselves. And if they don't, then we'll absolutely start to swing again.
I do imagine there might have been a bit of that at the beginning, but then there was kind of an agreement of stepping back and letting Valen walk as long as he was walking in the direction they were taking them in.
Beautiful. I think Valen probably mutters something along the lines of, "See what happens when we all get along?" as he's walking down the hallway.
And how about Mara?
I think when the orderlies first walk into Mara's room, she is kind of insistent on, I said I needed to talk to somebody.
Sorry, I had to quickly address. We are not eating Q's character. That is not allowed. Connor is to be protected at all costs, no matter the horrible things that I might be doing to him.
Or that I might be doing. To
Either
be
or.
fair.
I just appreciate that everyone is jumping in, saying no. So, yes, Mara, the orderlies come to the door and open it. You say, that you had asked to talk to someone, and the response you get is, yeah, you're being taken to do that.
Okay. Yeah, Mara would for sure follow without any fuss then.
Last but not least, how about Scylla?
Where are we going?
You're going to talk to someone
Where?
in one of the other rooms?
With my friends?
Yeah, your friends will be there.
Okay. We can go now.
I do feel like one of the orderlies, like, looks at you a little bit pityingly and says, Scylla, you might want to get better friends.
I have better friends. That's not very nice to say about my friends.
I'm just saying you seem like a very nice person, and they're dangerous.
I mean, they don't hurt me. We keep each other safe.
Yet keeping each other safe just led to a lot of people dying. And the other orderly says, shut up, we're not supposed to be talking about that with them.
Is that what you think it looked like? Oh,
Don't worry about what we think. You're going to talk to the person who makes the decisions, so
okay.
we're not that person.
Okay.
And Scylla, you are also escorted down the hallway. For those of you who have been in ISO before, it is confusing because you're not being brought back to the rest of the ward. You're not being brought back to your rooms. You're not being brought back to the group room. You're not being brought back to the interrogation rooms where you were sitting in with the set after the first incident with the darkness. None of that is where you're heading. In fact, you're going deeper down the hallway. And it stands out to any of you who have been in ISO before. The hallway looks longer, almost like it's been duplicated in some way. And you're not walking for long. It's not like this is miles and miles and miles of walking. It's about the length of 2 of the wards, at least as far as you remember. But you're brought to a door, and initially it looks like every other door. It doesn't look special, it doesn't look different. You would think you would be being taken to just a different one of these small, padded, very like insubstantially furnitured rooms. But it opens up and it's disorienting because you could swear it's the group room, but almost like a mirror image of it. It feels wrong in some way, like it's being reflected back. And rather than the whole circle of chairs that is usually there are just 6 of them. 1 for each of you, and 1 for Dr. Foxglove, who was already sitting there, tablet in his hands, waiting for the 5 of you to arrive. And I think I just need to ask what each of you do when you walk in.
I think Mara moves first. Mara, up until like this, every single time anybody has seen Mara up until this point, she has been incredibly tense. Like even in the TV land, she was like tense in all her movements. I think this is the first time they see Mara like loose. Like she moves freely and just takes a seat. She looks relaxed in the seat also.
And I think there's an important piece to add here, namely that it isn't even until like Mara sits down that she would recognize this or any of you would recognize this. You realize that suddenly you're not in blood-covered clothes anymore. There's no blood on your skin. There's nothing like that. It's as if in walking through, you're pretty sure it was into this room that it happened. Suddenly all of that was erased. It was washed away, but there wasn't a shower, there wasn't a change of clothes, there wasn't any of that. Like you can see with the clothes you're wearing, it's mostly the same thing. But if there were rips, if there were tears, if there were anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
they're gone now. So with that bit of information out there, who sits down next? Or does anyone sit down next?
I don't think Connor's sitting.
Okay.
Despite the immense desire to sit, I think she, being Ellie, is way too. I think there is a deep set rage behind her eyes that she is just locked in on Foxglove. Like, where the fuck have you been this entire time? And why did you let this happen? doesn't say it out loud, but there's like every single bit of like, this is your place. And you're just letting this shit happen. And now you're going to pretend like we're just going to have group therapy all over again, which didn't help in the first place. Nah, fam.
So I think it's funny then that you hear Connor very clearly and out loud say, "Where have you been?"
That's the only thing about Ellie that looks intense. The rest of her looks like she's about to fucking fall on her face.
And so, Ellie, you are standing there, locked in on Foxglove. Connor, you have directly asked that question to Foxglove while still standing. Valen, I saw you shaking your head in response to the answer, or to the question of sitting. What is Valen doing?
I walk into the room, and this feels insanely stupid, but absolutely something Valen would do. But realizing that my clothes are now repaired and I'm not covered in blood, I'm gonna back out into the hallway. Do I go back to the way I was before?
You don't back into the hallway.
Oh, is there a fucking orderly? Is the doors? What happens?
It's worse than the door, it's worse than the orderly. You try to back up, and it's like there is an invisible wall there that stops you.
Does this feel like the barrier that was in front of Dr. O's door the time that I tried to break in? Like that kind of like hovering over the door, or does this feel different?
It feels similar in terms of it like being an insubstantial barrier. It doesn't feel like that did. That
Okay.
felt very connected to what you can manipulate
Yeah.
and some of your powers, such as they are. This doesn't give you that same sensation. Like there's sort of no electric feeling coming from it or anything like that. It just feels like a barrier that's been put up to keep you from going through, not necessarily to like suppress or change your powers in any way.
And I think Valen notices that, kind of smirks at Foxglove, looks down at his clothes and says, "I thought that you were the boss. Can't believe you've just been cleaning our clothes the entire time." And I'm gonna go and like kind of rest my forearms on. I'm assuming the chairs are bolted to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Then I just kind of
They are.
lean over a chair, rest my forearms on it, but I don't take a seat.
And last but not least, what does Scylla do?
Scylla just kind of first kind of scans each member of the team and just kind of goes over to Connor's side and just kind of she's not sure what to do with her hands. So she just kind of is playing with the edge of her jumpsuit and is just kind of staring unblinking at Dr. Foxglove to just see what he's going to do and say.
Dr. Foxglove looks at each of you in turn, beginning with Mara, since she is the only one sitting. Moving over Scylla. Actually, I should say, since Scylla's closest to Connor, it would likely be Valen, Ellie, then Scylla, and finally Connor, who asked that question. He seemingly dismissed what Valen said. There was a look in his eyes when he glanced at you that just said, like, not even going to give this the time of day. And even though he waits to look at you last, Connor, he also ignores your question and just asks, "So, which one of you is going to tell me what happened?" And that is where we are going to hit pause for today.
Oh, No, 10 minutes.
No,
I'm
Ten-
so
no,
sorry.
10
Come
minutes.
on.
10 minutes.
I
no.
am not given 10 minutes. I am
Why?
holding
Why?
firm this time
Why?
because
Why?
we are going to have a chance to really dive into this next time, and I'm not going to start this because it'll be at least 30 minutes before
Okay,
we
but
stop.
Harp, cash
30
in all
minutes.
your
Swing on
things.
him next
30
time.
minutes.
Got it.
It'll be
Harp,
fine.
Harp, cash in all your things.
What things?
I don't know.
Don't-
Instead of
no.
rolls.
That gives
No.
rerolls. That does
That's
not give
rerolls.
extended
Okay,
time
but
on
there's
the
like
session.
4.
And
There's like 4
don't.
rerolls.
And don't. There are also chaos that got redeemed. So no,
Oh. I
It's
didn't fail a
true.
roll this game.
you didn't, and
I'm
I'm so
of
proud
you.
of you.
Yay!
Gold star for rolls.
So, while the cast is going to mutiny against me for
Mm.
hitting pause on this, we are going to move to outros because we had a fun time tonight. And
That's
I'm gonna wait. We talked about cannibalism.
We did talk about cannibalism.
We don't have to bring that up. All I'm saying is that if we're talking about Will and Hannibal in this fucking context of this game and what I asked for, I am the Will in this situation, and William never consensually indulged in cannibalism. It was accidental.
I don't think it can be called accidental, but the consensual is more valid.
I don't know, fucking accidental. I was just giving him shit and be like, hey, it's breakfast sausage. No, it was not. Anyways,
I
It
was
was the
thinking about
sausage
the
he
ear.
had for breakfast, but
Anyways, we're gonna jump into outros and not talk about cannibalism anymore. So I'm gonna kick us off. I'm gonna do reverse order heading towards Kian. So I'm gonna start with you, Harp.
Hey, I'm Harper. This is all I do for TTRPGs right now. I make videos. Cool.
Thank you, Harp. I'm gonna then jump up to Steph.
Hi, I'm Steph. I've been Scylla. She defends her friends. She's done nothing wrong, neither have they. See how soon that Doom track fills. When I'm not here, you can catch me over at Live from the Apocalypse in JD's homebrew psychological horror game Redacted. We have so many ghosts in our haunted houses.
so many.
And yeah, I just had my one-on-one session. It was fun. You could also catch me over on JD's Regency flavored Monster Hearts game, Season of Secrets and Shadows, newly broken up with at a table that is just everyone's ex. It's fine.
Oh right, I'm at that table.
You are at that
You
table.
are-
Just the ex's table.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I called it the mess table earlier.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Sure, but like
Everybody's.
We're gonna have a normal time.
that's a lie. You just lied to everyone in front of.
Okay, like what I will say in that game is legitimately I do not do things to my players and their characters. My players do things to their characters and each other. I literally have not been able to redeem, like, I have not been able to use 5 things of bad stuff given to me because my
Fine.
players had already made their lives so hard that I could not add to the mix.
Okay, now I will say that I got kidnapped by angels,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't
That
think
was
that
you.
I don't think that was my fault. I don't think that was my fault.
I don't think that was Dorian's fault. I think that was us discussing a way to get your character out of that session.
No, for sure. For
But
sure.
you did not. That was very different than, say, how last season ended.
You know what? You know, that wasn't you.
Nah, but I could have said no. We don't need to go into it. It's fine. Dorian's a fuckboy, apparently. It's
No,
fine.
he's not.
No, Dorian deserves better than that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Respect the king of hell.
And we'll get to Dorian in just a moment. I'm going to jump down now to LC. What are the cool things you're doing? Where can people find you? You are muted.
I unmuted myself in Discord. Anyways, hi, I'm Elsie. I'm optimistic on all social media. I don't really use social media anymore, but that's okay. I use she, they pronouns. I played Ellie Ellison. She also uses she, they pronouns. You can find me here for right now until we do our thing for season 2 of Path of the Fates. I'm going to revamp my character. I have a cult. It's great. I don't know that yet. My character doesn't know that yet, but I do. I have a theme. Anyways, also a game on Life from the Apocalypse that has not started yet, but it's gonna be fun. Harp's gonna be there. It's gonna be silly goofy. I need Harp to watch companion for this game, and that is it for me. Yeah. If you want to hang out, come hang out with me. I got nothing going on. Also, okay, and you should hear this too. I'm not a cannibal. And I did not do 9/11. And that is where I'm ending this week before somebody else says it.
What a fucking sentence that was.
You could have gone the whole stream without doing that.
I couldn't.
You could have gone the
You
whole
could have.
I really
session.
tried.
You were
without
doing
doing
so
that.
good.
It was the intrusive thought was really gnawing at me, and I could not say it anymore.
I'm so sorry that I didn't cut you off sooner.
Yeah, I'm sorry too.
That's on
Maybe
her.
we all learned our lessons today. I will
Listen,
keep
that's
talking.
fully on her. You gotta cut her off.
Yeah, I'll keep talking. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up now. Goodbye. Have a good night.
I'm gonna throw it to Q. I'm gonna throw it to Q before anything other intrusive thoughts happen.
Oh, Kidoki. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Q. I play Mr. Connor Creed, the saddest, angriest boy in all of Hemlock. When you don't see me here, you can find me out on the internet at Midnight Inc. That's Midnight, no more underscore INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I'm still making cowboys. Speaking of, on opposite Tuesdays from this one, you can find me over on Live from the Apocalypse for Nephilim Tenebrous, where I'm playing Captain Cassidy Starrunner, name in transition. Don't worry about it. Also, I am in Redacted. I'm also a house full of ghosts. And then Saturdays, we are I am the Saturday table, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And
So
we're
on
kicking
Saturday
that off on
table,
the 24th, I believe.
right? For a season of Secrets and Shadows, we are in seasons 4 in the in the Fast and Furious analogs. This is Fast and Furious 4, and also Class Reunion, which we are getting back to at some point. Where
Potentially the Saturday.
It's been a time. Anywho, folks, it's I got other stuff happening. It's in the works. Keep your eyes out, I guess. That's it.
We love to see it.
Okay.
A lot of the things I'm doing have already been listed, but I am JD. I've been your storyteller. I will be back as a storyteller for Redacted this Thursday, and then I will be doing nothing else live, I believe, until next Thursday, where I will be playing in Never Ember's Enigma, our D&D heist game over with Live from the Apocalypse. I will also be next Friday with Folk and Myth for the continuation of Vampire the Masquerade Montreal. And then I will be, as mentioned, running the Saturday table of a season of Secrets and Shadows, our Regency Monster Hearts game, where we will be kicking off the 2-table season 4. We've already technically kicked it off, but we're really going to enter the mayhem after doing an 8-person ball to begin the season. We're now going to explore mess and religious trauma and messy breakups and maybe kill God. Who knows? But tune in for that. And I'm going to toss it right there over to Kian.
Hello, hello, everybody. My name is Kian. My pronouns are any and all because gender is not real. You can find me on Blue Sky at uptight dash or underscore Schvon, whatever little thing Blue Sky allows. That's the one that I used. I'm going to go through channel stuff really quickly. Obviously, here every other Tuesday, They Call Us Villains, our horror mask actual play, GM'd by JD. Every other Thursday, God Complex, a Girl by Moonlight actual play, GM'd by Will. And every other Friday, Weird Wild's War, a 5e actual play, GM'd by JT. I know of at least 3 other games in the pipeline, so keep an eye out on social media for Entropy Emporium. That is where you will hear about us announcing games first, or in our Discord. Come join our Discord. As far as what I am doing, um, on the 30th, I'm super excited to be able to share, 'cause I wasn't sure if we were sharing it yet. On the 30th, I will be over on Tabletop Revolutions for a run of Urban Shadows. I think we're going for about 8 weeks for that one. It's gonna be a really, really cool story. I'm so excited. I'm playing my first ever vampire. Super stoked about that. But the story is going to contest with some of the real world stressors a lot of us are feeling. So if you feel a lot of relief from watching things happen in game that you wish you could do in the outside world, it's going to be a good game for you. I'm very excited about it. I am also excited to be able to say that I will be joining for an episode of a season of Secrets and Shadows with the Friday table. I am super stoked about that. I don't know if it's going to be recorded or live, so I'm not going to go into any of the details. I'll let JD talk about that whenever they feel like they're ready to do so. And then I will be
It'll
back
be
here.
live.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, I couldn't remember. It'll be live on June 1st. I'm super stoked about it. If you haven't watched a season of Secrets and Shadows, go watch it. I love this show so much, despite my opinions being wrong sometimes. I love this show so much, and I love these characters, and it's such a fun show to be able to be part of, and I'm so honored to be part of it. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Um, and then, of course, I'll be back here in 2 weeks for They Call Us Villains, our horror mass actual play. I just go into that automatically because that's what I'm used to saying. Um, and I think that that's it. And, it wouldn't be a teacup evening if I did not forget that we have to throw a raid somewhere. So y'all let me know, and somebody on screen let me know where we're going to raid. Y'all message me and I will set the raid up. If you are watching, sit tight, hang out. Be sure to say hi to whoever it is that we raid. Give them messages in the chat, refresh the screen, all of the fancy little tricks that help them to get those views. Let them know who sent you. But other than that, I think that we've got it all covered. Hang out. We'll be rating somebody soon. But I'll send it back to JD to take us out.
So I'll just throw it out there. We could raid High Shelf Collective because they are currently
Perfect.
streaming Heart, and we could give
They are
them
playing
a
Heart.
little bit of love. But with that, cast, say goodnight, everyone.
Good night,
Good night,
everyone.
Good night,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Elsie, you didn't say goodnight.
I did say good night.
You done?
Okay, you were giving me this glare, so I had to ask.
I was glaring because I'm upsetty.
Are you
Shashi.
upsetting spaghetti?
We're still alive, so I don't want to say it. And I mean, like, I already put it in entropy content, so
Don't say
like,
spaghetti around me.